Hey everybody, I really didn't plan to do this today because I have a lot of other chores to take care of regarding my company and its growth. But I want to address the person who purports to be Floyd Kephart on Twitter. I'm going to assume it's Floyd Kephart and go from there. But first of all, Mr. Kephart attacks me out of the blue and says he's tired of my ridiculous statements. I have never made a ridiculous statement. First of all, I have nothing against you, Mr. Kephart. I've said that before. I'll say that again. I have something against two things. You can have nothing against a person, but dislike how they do a something. Okay, it's two different worlds. What I dislike, first of all, is you insulted the National Football League at a time when we are on the NFL's timetable. Second, you've implied that we're not on the NFL's timetable and we're on your own personal timetable. You made that implication in print about the time that you have, and I wish they'd stay out of the way and all this stuff. You show no sensitivity to the fact that we are on the NFL's timetable until pressured. The ENA gives you that pressure, but the bottom line is we're really on the NFL's timetable, not on Oakland's. That's a fact. Second, you insulted Eric Rubin in print. That's not rumor for me. That's in black and white. Third, you asked for a $200 million subsidy from the city of Oakland and County of Alameda. Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf, my god sister, has said, and I might add at my behest, that if she doesn't want public money, she should say no public money. She has said she doesn't want public money used. The project as it stands is too big. Some council members are under the impression you agree with that idea. However, you then come out and say, oh well, it's 800 acres in size, which upsets housing activists, rightly so. I've been involved with the Oakland Coliseum and the Oakland Coliseum redevelopment survey area, then became redevelopment project area, then redevelopment area for a generation. Since 1987 and my first job out of grad school with the Oakland Redevelopment Agency, I built the first and only complete computer model of the redevelopment area that is the Coliseum, going back to when it was worth $1,872,000,000 in 1988 as an assessed value area of about 6,000 acres. I know every inch of that area, including the Coliseum. I then worked a plan to bring the Super Bowl to Oakland under a refurbished Coliseum, which I basically designed by hand and had Anderson Consulting Team turned into architectural drawings that could be used for construction. So I don't come into this just from any place. I have a generation of experience in it. I have nothing to gain and nothing to lose from my effort, except one thing: to see the city of Oakland do something right for a change. To get back to the way that we were during the years when Henry Gardner was city manager, right up to when Robert Bob was city manager, until Jerry Brown fired him. The problem is that we have lost the will and the initiative to complete big projects. We think they're going to cost too much money. We think they're going to cost public money. In this specific instance, it doesn't have to. And when I'm talking about I don't mean the 800-acre monstrosity that you were given the RFP. I mean the original Coliseum city plan that called for new retail, and I added a few more uses to it to create a really tight lease revenue bond, and then I went a step further and made a spreadsheet that has been checked and reviewed by an investment banking firm, Piper Jaffray. Then I made a bond amortization sinking fund model based on that. It's all out there. This is not rocket science, and I'm really sick and tired of people approaching it as if it is, as if they've discovered, the cure to cancer or something, and they don't want anybody to see it. This is ridiculous. The bottom line is that we have wasted a lot of time waiting as a public for a plan that will retain our sports organizations. And Coliseum City has been, in a sense, delayed because of all these efforts around housing, when that's not what Coliseum City was supposed to be about. And so now we have a general plan which had to go through community groups and had to go be passed and all of this stuff. And when you talk to people who were at the meetings that Mr. Kephart, you presided over, on the map, they say there are holes where the stadiums are supposed to be. And there was no financing plan for the stadiums at all. None. This has gone way too far and went out of focus. Completely out of focus. And I'm tired of going to NFL owners meeting after NFL owners meeting after NFL owners meeting and seeing other cities and other municipalities band together and accomplish objectives. And here we are not doing that. I'm tired of seeing us as a city completely unfocused. We're always talking about land use ideas. Someone wants something here or someone wants something over there, and they're completely divorced from what's doable. For example, right now, Lou Wolf wants to build at the Coliseum. Build it there. I have laid out a plan that calls for an industrial development lease revenue bond issue. We do not have to have the city and the county as a backstop for that bond issue. The bond at let's say $1.9 billion has an annual debt service of approximately $152 million. It includes a hotel that's over 1,010 rooms. At 1,010 rooms, as well as external retail and internal retail for both stadiums for the Raiders and the A's. I didn't deal with the Warriors situation in this scenario. But what I designed, and it calls for the JPA as master developer, that way we get the land entitlement issue out of the way and the JPA can hire a developer consultant, is something that even if the bonds default, the city and the county will not be expected to pay for them. There are other ways that can be worked out. That's all Oakland Mayor Libby Schaaf is asking for. And we can give her that. We can give the cities that. We can do something. And not only that, the 1998 Riders case would allow the city and the county to contract with the JPA to use a portion of unused bond revenue for other needs around the city and the county. I vote for the city of Oakland. This is not rocket science, and it's not against you, Mr. Kephart. This is far beyond you. If you turned around and said, hey, you know what, he's got a great idea, let's do it this way, and I'm happy to preside over it, I'd say, ding, great. Absolutely, fantastic. But please, stop the rhetoric. Stop getting on Twitter and just saying whatever comes to your mind. Stop insulting people. No one is against you. It's not about you. It's about the city of Oakland and rediscovering the will and the initiative to complete big projects. Oh, and something else too. I have called and tried to reach out to you. You did not call me back. I have given you my number twice. You have not called me back. So you have no idea how I think about any of this. I guess you're afraid to ask me.